What's good, y'all? It's your boy Boogie today, and we got a little sports channel thing going on. It's the first episode here. We don't know what the hell it's gonna be called yet, so we'll figure it out later. Anyways, today's topic we're gonna be talking about the AFC playoffs. Next video that'll come up right after this one. We'll talk about NFC playoffs. So let's get right in. Let's. I got a question. Okay. Here's how this works. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna judge. I'm gonna do a little bit of talking. As you can see, we have Dustin, Nate, and Nana in the call. You can't see me, but I'm in the call, obviously. And I'm gonna keep points here for their arguments on who they think's gonna win. But I'm gonna say who came up with the best argument, not based on my opinion who I think is gonna win. Who came up with the best argument why they think their team can win? So first one I want to say between Dustin and Nana. Let's start out with Patriots and the Texans. So Nana, what you got? Who are you
Well,
gonna
all I
take?
gotta say is
And Nate, you can be quiet for a second.
Brock Osweiler. He's been keeping it. He's been doing his routines. He's been keeping it soft. I'm pretty surprised he even made it to the playoffs with his pretty decent performance. But I still think they can pull through, especially with their defense. They got one good player that I know of. I don't know. I'm not really that.
So you're taking Texans.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
say Texans.
All right. All right. Interesting. Dustin, are you taking Texans or Patriots?
You fucking disgust me.
Who, me?
Fucking no, Nana. Stupid ass. I'm
No.
taking the Patriots.
Okay, but you know that like the pressure gets to Tom Brady, right?
But
When it
shut your
comes to
mouth.
an
Okay,
easy.
you talk about pressure for Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the one with all the rings. Brock Osweiler doesn't even know how to play football, in
Okay, but
my opinion.
okay, think about those games where he had to face an easy team and he always starts
He had
choking.
to be sat out, bro. He had to be sat out. Sat out because he stunk so bad.
Bro, this motherfucker Tom Brady missed what, 4 games this season? Fucking he has 0 interceptions. Motherfucker has 0 interceptions. Oh, yeah.
Zero interceptions. Oh God. All right. And so, you know, there were some good points. It looks like we had 2-on-1 here for Patriots. You know, you had a good defense with the Texans defense, and to back you up on that, Nana, I do believe it's a good defense. There's a chance they could get after Tom Brady. Jadeveon Clowney, he's been balling, coming off that line, and he's a big force on why they beat Oakland. They were destroying Oakland's O line, which is pretty shocking because Oakland's O line is actually pretty solid. So it's better than Patriots for sure. So I can see where you're going with that, the defensive piece, and they are stepping up. But my question is, are they worthy enough to beat the Patriots? Why do you feel like they're worthy enough all around, even offense? Why do you think they can beat the Patriots?
Well, if you think about it, okay, Osweiler came in with a what $70 million contract. Everybody's all like, man, it's his first season being a starter and all that. He's not going to do so well, but he made himself come to the playoffs. He's bringing in a story. He left the Broncos, which I think is a pretty bad idea. He could have took the Broncos somewhere, but he still managed to bring a team that no one really cares about to the playoffs, and they're about to face a pretty challenging team. And if they manage to beat the Patriots, then it'll be pretty good for their reputation, and it could help them with
So,
the bowl and whatnot.
so do you think if they do beat the New England Patriots, that next game they're going to be taken more seriously?
They will be taken more seriously because Tom Brady is a really, really experienced quarterback. No doubt about that.
Well, yeah, that's fact. But
Now,
so
hold on. Let me get my viewpoint into this. All right, let me get my viewpoint into
okay,
this. First of all, the Texans really didn't really come up from anywhere. They stunk and they still stunk. You know, the quarterback still ain't crap. In football, you're supposed to win at least two thirds out of the game. So
But
you have special teams, offense, and defense. The defense for the Texans is still. I mean, you can compare it to other defenses like the Patriots defense, which is actually better in my opinion. Not just that. I mean, the offense for the Texans is lousy. They
well,
really can't generate any points. They can't really generate any rushing yards, nor passing yards either.
but
Honestly, I think they're pretty
here's the
lousy.
here's the deal. You said their record. You gotta win 2/3 of your game, but do you know how many people do that? You know, the only teams who happen to do that. Let me give you the list. Were I mean, it's actually not a. There's a pretty good number of teams who did it. You got starting out with Cowboys. Okay, 13-3. They're a bit over 2/3 of their season, or well, over 3/4 actually. So they're way over that. Um,
Well, no. I'm not talking about it from that. I'm talking about the thirds that you have in the actual game when you're playing.
what
You
do you
have
mean?
offense, you have defense, and you have special teams.
Okay, yeah,
All right?
yeah.
Those are the three parts that if you dominate two out of the three on, you will win the game.
Well, I
Even if
mean,
you even if you stay neutral on two of the three
okay,
of them, as
all right,
long as one of them's a little bit better than the other, you're able to beat the game.
okay. Well, I mean, I'm not a big Texans fan. I don't pay attention to the Texans. Um, you know, I don't know about their special teams. I know they have a great defense. I believe it's top. Not the number one, obviously, but it's a top-rated defense, especially in the AFC. I think so. Competing with New England's defense, that's a pretty solid defense, and they've come up this year as well. So you can't give all the success to Tom Brady. Their defense is as well made a stand. So that's I mean,
That's what I'm saying,
so
though.
I'm
Because the
saying
Patriots right now this season has each time consecutively with their offense and defense have won two out of three parts of the game and
okay,
won their games.
okay. What do you have to say about that, Dustin? The defensive piece, kind of adding on to that 2 out of 3 of their teams being good.
So let's see. So I recently looked at the Pro Bowl ballot, right?
Mhm.
What's his face? Matt Slater for the Patriots.
Yeah.
He was on there. Uh, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think their special teams is better just by that because I
So
don't really give a shit.
so you're gonna give them a 3 out of 3 on all of those. You'd say good offense, good defense, good special team.
Well, the defense, I feel like the Texans top them,
Mhm.
but I don't give a shit because Tom Brady's better than all of them. So
That's true. Do you think?
Patriots are gonna
Well,
win.
and also not just that. Think about this. I mean, Broncos last season they pulled off something spectacular with their defense making points.
True.
But the thing is, with most defenses, they're there to stop whoever the offense is from scoring. The defense is not the one that's supposed to score.
But
And the thing is, the Texans, even if they have a top-rated defense, their offense stinks. They can't generate points with their offense, and you can't always depend on your defense to generate points.
um, you know, I do believe Patriots will win the game, but we were saying the defense is not supposed to score points. The defense can score points, and that's a problem. So if you're saying, possibly this defense can come around and get some points off of New England turnovers, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an interception. It can be a fumble by anybody, getting points off that or getting in field goal range at least. If they get a 3-and-out, if they're on the right side of the field, they get a fumble near the 20-yard line on the Patriots side, they can kick a field goal and get points like that. You know, the defense does truly win games. Um, but
Well, we can
in my
say that.
opinion, in my
We can't
opinion,
say that.
so
Last year,
as
that
as a as
could
I
be
think
proven.
the
Last year,
the
that
the
could have been proven.
Patriots could possibly do that same because of how poor I believe Texans offense is. I wouldn't be shocked if Patriots defense generated points for their team as well. So it's a good
And that's when you really got to look at the offense and defenses as a ratio. It's like it's almost thinking about, okay, so their offense looks bad. This offense stinks. This
I'm sorry,
their
you're cutting
defense.
out.
Honestly, I think if you look at,
Hold up, Nate. We're gonna have to
I'm
have you
cutting
stop
out.
talking
Oh
for a
crap!
second. You're cutting out. But
All right.
one advantage New England has, with possibly getting a turnover in the red zone, is security for the fact that there's possibility it will most likely be a field goal for reasons of out of all 32 teams, the Texans are only converting 44%. They only get points on 44% of the time that they're in the red zone, which is terrible. They're the 31st. The only team who is worse than them on red zone percentage on getting points is the Jets with 35, but they didn't make the playoffs, and there's a reason for that. And surprisingly, a team that I feel like should have made the playoffs instead of the Texans was the Titans. Titans I feel are a better team. Maybe without Marcus Mariota, it would have been over. Maybe Oakland would have beat them. I don't know, but they had the best red zone percentage. So I mean, Titans defense is pretty bad. So I could see that being a gunfight there, just firing shots back at each other. But it looks like here I'm gonna take Pat's. Dustin and Nate are gonna win this debate here for the Patriots. I tallied it up 4-2. I liked 4 good points defending the Patriots. Nana had 2 good points for the Texans, but a problem with that is both points we're talking about the defense. We really have nothing here for the offense. The Patriots defense can easily take advantage of that, while Patriots are just, as you guys stated, they're an all-around team. They're 3 for 3. So that's that. Now let's get on to the next matchup. We have Kansas City versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at Kansas City. It'll be in Kansas City. Who are you gonna take for this one, Dustin?
Oh shit! I've been really thinking about this one, bro. Uh, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs, man. Just home field advantage. I think they're both equally like balanced teams. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
Steelers defense have been stepping up recently.
Yeah.
Shazier and shit.
Right.
So like, and Chiefs defense, Eric Berry and all that.
Yeah.
So with that, I just have to take the home team. Their offense, Chiefs offense, they're all right. They're average. Travis Kelce gets his yards. Who else? Tyreek Hill is
Tyreek Hill.
fast ass. Yeah, he's gonna get yards too. And Steelers offense, we know Le'Veon Bell and shit. They're gonna get points, whatever.
Yeah. So, do you think it's gonna be a high-scoring game?
Uh,
We match.
you know, like around freaking 20 to 30 points for each team.
Okay. All right. Close game. Seems like
Yeah.
you're saying. All right, Nate. What's your take? Pittsburgh or Kansas City?
Man, that's a hard decision.
Yeah.
uh, to be honest, I want Pittsburgh to win, but I feel like both teams are pretty neutral against each other because both of them have kind of the same qualities. They have a pretty good offense. Their defense is pretty good. Special teams is good enough.
I'm gonna.
All around. I mean, each team has even their special players. Honestly, I think from this standpoint, it depends on who's on fire and who's not.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna
if
have
it really
to.
was going to come,
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the offensive as the similar. Pittsburgh, in my opinion, has the top-rated offense all around. You have a top 5 quarterback the best running back and a top 5 receiver. If this was last year, I would have said he was number one, but I believe Julio Jones outdid him even with injury. Um, you know, I mean, their offense is amazing, and that's why I'm gonna take Pittsburgh for this one. They're both beasts. Both teams are a threat to New England, because in my opinion, like I said, New England's moving on. They're both a threat to New England, and if Houston gets upset, or if gets the upset for Nana, um, obviously this team, whoever wins this game, either one of them will win. But you know, Pittsburgh, in my opinion, is just the better all-around team there. So I'm just gonna take
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. What about you? So
and
you were saying?
I'll probably join with Pittsburgh because I mean, think about it, they do have a pretty good top three triangle. Think about it. They have Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, and Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell's right now one of the best running backs out there. He's patient. He can hit a hole. And honestly, I mean, their running game can flourish if the offensive line does okay.
All right. Well,
And
Okay, but
you
in the
know,
recent games, Ben Roethlisberger's been taking a bunch of hits lately. It's not even like
Yeah.
he's been
normal.
wearing
He's been
that boot. That's a good point. He's been wearing that
that's
boot.
true.
yeah, he's
He's
been
getting
getting
older.
Well, that seemed to be
Yeah,
a
so
problem
he's
with his.
getting weaker. He's getting
so his
older.
stats not too far away from.
And think about it. If you really
Look, honestly, Ben Roethlisberger may have that boot, but that affects a skill that he never used, and that's his mobility. He may not get to take a few steps away from a defender, which could be important versus the Chiefs' defense, because their pass rush could be pretty strong at times. But you know, if he can work his arm, didn't seem to have a problem with his arm. If he can use his arm, find Antonio Brown, find any receiver on that team, and I feel like he could be fine.
I
And
mean,
another thing about like Pittsburgh, like I said, I would want Pittsburgh to win. I hope Pittsburgh wins. It's just it seems like when I watch them play that they only have a couple of people that they throw to, which would be Antonio Brown and probably one of their tight ends.
And
But
clearly, Kansas City is going to lock him down. Obviously,
yeah,
So you're gonna
you're
take?
going
Are
to
you
have to
taking
put at
Kansas
least
City?
a safety
I'm
and a DB on them. With Antonio
Wait, hold up.
Brown, you're going
No,
to have
no.
to at least put a safety and a DB on them.
Yeah, no, no. So who are you taking?
I'm obviously going to take Kansas City because they always seem to pull through in things like this. And I don't think that Pittsburgh is going to do a good job protecting Ben Roethlisberger. And it just, I mean, the only benefit that I see that Pittsburgh's going to have for offense is probably the rushing yards because
Hmm.
where on Kansas City is not really he hasn't done much compared to Le'Veon Bell. But
Okay.
also, Tariq Hill, he's an insane player. There's nothing, like, he's just insane. It's unexplainable for the things that he does. It's just crazy.
Okay.
He's just gonna expose Pittsburgh, really. There.
So Dustin, I have a question for you. How do you feel about Marcus Peters most likely guarding Antonio Brown? Do you think that's going to be a shutdown, or you think they're going to put some backup on him? Maybe Eric Berry.
even though Marcus Peters is like he's in the Pro Bowl, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a beast though.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Regardless, he's a beast.
Yeah, I still think they're gonna double up on Antonio. I think, in
I
my
agree with
opinion,
that.
he's number one.
You
He's
think?
number
I
one
agree
receiver.
with that. I mean, Antonio Brown, think about it. He is so athletic. He can run, super fast. He got great hands, and he'll jump for most balls that other wide receivers wouldn't jump for. So honestly, I mean, not too many people really can lock him down.
Well,
If
I
you
mean,
give
double coverage can beat
Antonio,
almost anybody, unless you're a Randy
well,
Moss, Calvin Johnson, Des Bryant
yeah,
kind of guy. That's who can get
and
past
that's
even
the one
triple
thing,
coverage. But
and that's the one
this is
thing
Antonio
that
Brown. Is he
Antonio Brown
aggressive
doesn't
like that?
have. Well, Antonio Brown doesn't quite have that because
But yeah,
just the wide receivers that you named off of,
those were some tall
they're
receivers. Those are
bigger
some
than
guys. Yeah,
he is.
that's the point.
They're bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bigger dudes. Des Bryant. You can even say, Broncos wide receiver. I literally just forgot his name. Demarius
Demarius.
Thomas.
Yeah.
He's a bigger wide receiver
I
in
don't
those
know if he
kind of
can do
double
that though.
coverage.
I don't know if he can
Well,
do that.
I say with Demarius Thomas, he's just like really really lousy and lazy. I feel like he could do more, but he just worried about getting paid. But also, I have to give him this. Last season, he got knocked around a lot with Peyton Manning throwing the ball.
True. All right. So,
But back to Pittsburgh, though. I mean,
all right.
Antonio Brown, even though he's energetic and all that, he's not that strong.
All right. Well, so I
Giggle,
think
giggle,
I think we can.
giggle, giggle.
All right.
Shut
I
up,
got.
Vito.
I got. As much as I want Pittsburgh to win this game, I have to say the Chiefs' argument was the best. 2 points to one. You guys brought up a really good point. Uh, the defense. Antonio Brown will be shut down, probably due to double coverage. And that's gonna limit Pittsburgh to a run game, and that can get stopped. You know, it is Le'Veon Bell. It may take him all the way until the fourth quarter to stop it, but it can be stopped. It's 100% possible. So I do see that. And Nate, your point for Pittsburgh, you named kind of the obvious, but I gave you a point for it. The big three, obviously, is going to show up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Antonio Brown's going to be 100% shut down because they don't run double coverage every play, and there's going to be at least one of those plays where they don't run it. He's going to make a big play. In my opinion, he's going to have at least one big play, possibly even a touchdown. And Le'Veon Bell, I'm going to take 2 touchdowns for Le'Veon. Do you guys have any offensive stats you predict?
Uh,
I feel
Second.
Alex
I'm
Smith could
locking in
show.
at least 2 touchdowns for Le'Veon. I don't know about maybe not guaranteeing that, but at least 2 for Le'Veon. What did you say, Dustin?
um, I'm gonna say like 2 picks for Kansas City defense.
Okay. So no specific, just Kansas City.
Yeah, yeah.
Not any like specific stats.
No, I just see that the defense is going to pull a really impressive play that no one's going to expect.
All right. Nate, any stat predictions like
Well, seeing still in my opinion that the two teams are, both kind of the same in points scored, I'd probably say that in the end of the day, this is going to be a low scoring game. So I'd probably say something around like maybe 12-9 something.
12-9?
You know,
Those are some
Damn.
Those-
Yeah.
Gotta at least
I really don't see. Honestly, I don't see the teams scoring all that many points.
So
I
that
feel like this is going to be a grinder.
that kind of seems like no touchdowns. Or
Nope.
you're saying maybe a
Seems like-
safety?
I'm saying,
I
yeah,
don't know, 'cause for
safeties,
the 9
field
points-
goals, maybe
9
one
points-
touchdown at most.
Well, because if you say Kansas City or something having 9 in that scenario, that'd be a touchdown and they get a safety. And then
Or 3
Pittsburgh
field
doesn't
goals.
even get a touchdown. You're saying they get 4 field goals. Or they get 2 touchdowns and miss both extra points or something.
Yeah, I'm feeling like right now, most of them, they're probably just going to grind out to, probably like the 20, 30-yard line and not be able to finish it.
All right. Well, if that's the score, 12-9, Pittsburgh, right?
Hmm.
And Pittsburgh gets 4 field goals, and Kansas City gets a touchdown and a safety or 3 field goals. You're gonna get paid for that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that.
Just something,
That's a pretty bold
just something
prediction
like that.
there. That's a pretty bold prediction. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. AFC playoff talk. We'll be right in like maybe 20 minutes after I upload this. We'll have the NFC playoffs. All right, this is Jaboogie with Dustin, Nate, and Nana, and you're watching Litty Titty Sports Network. All right, see ya.
Nate's